of Healthwise, brought to you by the ZIZ and Nevis of Medical and Dental Association. I am your host, Dr. Tishima Brown. Tonight's program is entitled Inside the Red Cross, Service, Emergencies, and Saving Lives, featuring the ZIZ and Nevis Red Cross Society. I know when most people hear the words Red Cross, they think of disasters or emergency response. However, the organization is involved in so much more than that, from community outreach to youth development to life-saving skills training. The organization plays an important role in strengthening our communities in our federation. So tonight we'll be exploring what the Red Cross is, what it stands for, how it supports communities in needs, why it is important to learn first aid, CPR, and AED skills, and how you can become involved in the Red Cross. We will also be featuring our medical personality spotlight, where we recognize an individual who has made a meaningful contribution to healthcare in our federation. And as part of tonight's program, we will be featuring our health tip of the week, where we talk about one thing that everyone should probably know, and it is tied into our discussion about emergency preparedness and life-saving skills. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Looking for a new vehicle? Horsford's Automotive Division has exactly what you need. Reliable performance, modern design, and a team committed to getting you on the road with confidence. From everyday drives to exciting upgrades, quality and service come standard. Ready to refresh your home? Visit Ashley Furniture Home Store at Horsford's. Discover statement pieces, stylish accents, and comfort designed to elevate your space instantly. Planning a project? The Building Center provides premium paints mixed to perfection and expert guidance every step of the way. Bring your ideas to life with ease. Automotive, home style, building essentials, all in one trusted destination. Make it simple. Make it smart. Experience everything Horsford's has to offer today. Try Horsford's first.
Welcome back to Healthwise. Tonight we're taking a closer look inside of the Red Cross. And with me, I have some representatives from the ZIZ and Nevis Red Cross Society. Can you guys please introduce yourselves and talk about your role within the organization?
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
My name is Timothy Martin, and I am the disaster coordinator for Red Cross.
Good evening. My name is Trevor Seaton, and I'm the Assistant Disaster Coordinator for the Red Cross Society.
And thank you guys so much for being here. So let's begin by talking about the organization itself. So many people can readily identify the Red Cross emblem, but not a lot of people understand the scope of its work. So from your perspective, what is the Red Cross and what does the organization stand for?
Well, the Red Cross is a global humanitarian organization that stands for humanitarian aid, providing humanitarian aid, protection of human life and health, and the prevention and alleviation of human suffering wherever it may be found, whether as a result of natural disasters or man-made disasters such as war or conflict.
Thank you so much. So one of the things I find very fascinating about the organization is that it operates in almost every country in the world. So can you tell us, either one of you, can you tell us how this organization began?
Well, the organization began as a result of a battle that was fought in a place called Solferino, where there were many wounded that was left on the battlefield unattended. And there was this Swiss businessman, Henry Dunant, who organize the community to assist the wounded and to take them into churches in the community and to nurse them back to health. And Henry Dunant wrote a book entitled A Memory of Solferino, in which he recommended that there be relief societies organized to help the wounded in times of conflict. So in 1863, there was the formation of these national societies, national relief societies. Later on, in 1864, when the First Geneva Convention was signed, the International Committee of the Red Cross was formed. And this led to the first step in the formation of the International Red Cross movement. As a result of these wars, recognized there were many civilians that were impacted, and so they decided to form a segment within the Red Cross to deal with the humanitarian side of it, and that formed the League of Red Cross, which later changed its name to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. So their work is really to help those affected by disasters, natural or man-made disasters.
Okay. And one of the reasons the public places so much trust in the Red Cross is because it operates according to a set of guiding principles. Can either one of you tell me what are those principles and why they remain relevant today?
Well, the fundamental principles of the International Red Cross, these are a set of ethical, operational, and institutional guidelines that underpins the humanitarian activities. And so these guide the work of the movement globally. They are at the heart of the movement efforts to protect life and health and to ensure respect for the human beings. So these principles are humanity. The movement aims to provide assistance without any discrimination to the wounded on the battlefield or to those affected by natural disasters. And the aim is to prevent and alleviate human suffering wherever it may be found. And then you have the principle of impartiality. The movement makes no discrimination as to nationality or race. So regardless to a person's race or religious background, the Red Cross will provide endeavors to relieve the suffering of individuals. We have neutrality. The movement may not take sides in hostilities or engage in controversies of a political or racial or ideological nature. The Red Cross is independent of government and other humanitarian organizations. Red Cross is a voluntary organization providing voluntary service, not moved by any desire for gain. And we have the principles of unity and universality, which means that the Red Cross is a global movement, and its work, it ensures that its works is accessible to all, regardless of, as I said, nationality, race, or religious belief.
So one of the principles that resonate the most with me is humanity. In both medicine and Red Cross, we are privileged to meet people at critical moments in their lives. And while the circumstances may differ, the mission remains the same: to help, to serve, and to ensure that no one has to face hardship alone. It's about treating each other with dignity, showing compassion, and being willing to help when help is needed most. So, Timothy, can you tell me how the Red Cross is different from the other government organizations, the hospitals, or charitable organizations?
Well, definitely it is a total different entity to any governmental institution. It's not politically driven, and the Red Cross focuses on humanitarian services, disaster response, community resilience, health education, and volunteerism. So while a hospital has that core function throughout from inception, the Red Cross, when it comes to the assisting of persons, is only when there is a particular need for that. So after a hurricane passes and persons are impacted, then you would see the Red Cross muster in to render aid to these persons. Not saying that the Red Cross does not do things prior to a hurricane, but it functions in that regards where it renders that level of care, when it is necessary or needed.
Anything to add, Trevor?
Yes, I agree. So the hospital focuses on providing medical care for the treatment for the sick, for those injured, and the Red Cross provides, as Timothy says, humanitarian aid in times of disaster, offering assistance to those in need. And as we said, based on the principles, without any discrimination.
Exactly. So it's an humanitarian organization, volunteer-driven, right? So I want to ask both of you this question. What inspired you to become a Red Cross volunteer?
Well, I was invited to attend one of the Red Cross youth meetings, and I enjoy the first aid practical exercise activities, and I understood that Red Cross also prepare for disaster preparedness and response, and so that encouraged me to remain part of the organization. Yes.
Trevor, I always have some interesting stories to tell here. But for me, it was slightly different. In my other work, I wear different hats at times. I'm a firefighter by profession, and that took me to where I collaborated a lot with Red Cross in terms of doing training. Training is a passion of mine. So when it comes to doing fire prevention initiatives and search and rescue training, training the volunteers to be able to help themselves in any situation, they would often call on me to render that type of training. So I kept being asked the question, you've been around us for a long time, you work with us regularly, why not become a member of Red Cross? And I ignored the question for quite a bit until one day in us doing some training together, I made the final decision to say, yes, I'm going to be a part of Red Cross, because it in essence, it collaborates well with what I do on a daily basis. Firefighting, search, and Red Cross, they can join. So it was easy for me to transition into Red Cross because we are rendering a humanitarian service to the Federation and providing care where needed.
And how long have you been with the Red Cross organization now?
It's hard to say. Well, I would say maybe about 2 years' time.
2 years.
But like I say, I've always felt a part of because I was always doing something with Red Cross.
Okay. And Trevor?
For me, I joined during my primary school years, so it's quite a long time. Quite a long time.
Okay, so we talked about what the Red Cross is, its mission, its principles, and when we come back, we'll talk about what the Red Cross does in our communities and how it helps families and communities in need.
Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank life is nice. You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank life is nice. Home or away, any time of the day. Credit or debit, right in your pocket. With National Bank card, so many benefits. Oh yeah, the choice is yours. Just come and embrace it.
Live your life your way with purchases big or small. Mango, nuts, breadfruit and all.
You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank life is nice.
Welcome back to HealthWise. Tonight we're discussing Inside the Red Cross, service, emergencies, and saving lives. I am your host, Dr. Tishima Brown, and with me I have Timothy Mathin, the coordinator of disaster, and Trevor Seaton, the assistant disaster coordinator. So now let's focus on what the Red Cross does in our community. I know there's a big misconception that people think that the Red Cross only becomes active after disaster. And in reality, a lot of work happens long before an emergency ever occurs. So can you tell us about some of the ways the St. Kitts and Nevis Red Cross supports communities throughout the year?
Well, if I should say, the Red Cross believe in resilience. So I find that word to be very intriguing, where it is to build capacity. Now, disaster preparedness training is one way that the Red Cross support communities throughout the year. The more persons that are trained when it comes to disaster preparedness, when the likelihood or the unlikelihood that something like a hurricane is to affect the nation, the citizens would be more in tune as to what to do to help themselves, how to prepare themselves. So we put on a lot of training where that is concerned. When it comes to first aid, CPR, and AED training, that is one of the main goals of Red Cross, is to train persons where that is concerned. So throughout the year, we get an extensive listing of persons that request these type of trainings. And these type of training saves lives, hands down. When you have to wait for an ambulance to get to wherever you are, if a next door neighbor, someone who you don't even know walking along the street, who is versed in first aid, CPR, AED training, they can jump in to save your life, your family's life. In situations like that, every minute counts. Every minute counts. So the goal, I would say, is to get everyone within the Federation at least certified, trained in these areas, so that anything happen at any time, whether night or day, any one of the citizens can jump in to save a life.
Well, we can learn from the lessons, the recent lessons from Jamaica, where they were impacted by Hurricane Melissa. And we were able to see on the television communities that were cut off for quite a long time before responders were able to get to them. So as part of Red Cross training, we work closely with NEMA to train persons in the community to be part of a community disaster response team. Community members are the first on the ground in their community, the first to respond, the first to help their neighbors. And so we assist in providing the training to help them to be better prepared to help themselves and help their neighbors in times of disasters. And so they are part of a community disaster response team. Along with the first aid training, it helps to save lives.
Another aspect, if I can, is the youth development program that I find to be, very, very good. We are getting our younger children, children in primary school, high school, to come out to be a part of Red Cross. The Red Cross teaches them a whole host of topics and skill-based training, where they can then go and teach the persons who they live with, their parents, their aunties, their uncles, etc., and show them what they learn within Red Cross. So teaching them at that age, you are making a succession plan for the future.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's safe to say that emergency skills are not just for doctors, nurses, or healthcare professionals, or first responders, right?
Right.
Emergency skills are community skills, and hopefully that we can inspire some of our viewers to take up first aid, to take up AED or CPR classes, okay? I'm hoping that after this session we'll have an influx of many participants that are interested in learning those type of skills.
I agree.
Hopefully. So what are some of the things or some of the ways Red Cross helps community prepare before, during, and after a hurricane or other emergencies occur?
I would say it starts with volunteer training. Training our volunteer groups into how to help the community. The more our volunteers are trained in this regard, the better they are able to help others. So we start with our volunteers. Then we go into organizing workshop, conduct preparedness workshop. We have a storeroom that we try to ensure that it is well kept, well stocked, and everything, so that when any emergency takes place, whether it might be hurricanes, we do have flooding situations, we have the situation of drought in St. Kitts now. That is something that we all need to pay attention to, the way in which we utilize water. And in me saying that, make sure to hydrate yourself. The sun is not playing out there. So throughout the day, make sure that you hydrate so that you do not become a casualty. We develop family emergency plans. Anybody who needs any assistance with getting a plan for your family, you can contact Red Cross, and we could walk you through the steps as to how that can be done.
Okay, and can you tell us about some of the community programs that are currently available through the Red Cross?
Okay, so one of the disaster preparedness programs, we conduct what we call CDRT training. That's community disaster response training, and that involves bringing together persons from the communities to identify the risks or the vulnerabilities to those communities, to map those risks, and to come up with plan of actions as to how to mitigate those risks, and how to prepare for any impact, how to respond to those situations. As I said before, the community persons, they are from the community, they know their risks, they know their vulnerabilities, and how best to deal with those challenges. And so some of the training, as was mentioned before, first aid training, along with these skills, help the community to be better prepared.
Timothy?
Well, I think we would have covered
Everything? Okay then. So, I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but can either one of you share an example of a time when the work the Red Cross did for our family or community where they made a very meaningful impact?
Trevor would have all the interesting stories.
Well, I mean, there are many instances. In the aftermath of hurricanes, we had situations where persons may have lost most of their house, most of their property. The Red Cross was able to assist in the recovery phase in terms of providing building materials to help build back property. We have had emergencies like fire. Persons lost their homes, and at that moment when the persons needed items of comfort, the Red Cross was able to provide hygienic items and blankets and stuff like that. And there are times when persons lost loved ones, a family member passed, and they need members from the military who are overseas to come back home. And so the Red Cross again were able to write to the military, U.S. Army for example, to release their family member who is in the military to come back home, and that sort of thing. And in the case of migrants, we had situations where we have migrants, shipwrecked persons. The Red Cross again provides support to them while they are seeking assistance to be repatriated, whether it's food items, hygienic items, access to health care, and that sort of thing. So the Red Cross is engaged in providing assistance as well, provide assistance to the government during COVID pandemic. We were able to provide protective items and sanitary items, well, both to the health institution and to individuals. And so we have been playing our part in support of the health authorities.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are playing a very important role, especially in those critical moments for our community, our families. So we've talked about the incredible work that the Red Cross is doing in the community. When we return, we'll talk about one of the topics that I'm very passionate about, and that's why everyone should learn first aid, CPR, and AED skills. We'll be right back after these messages.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Blue Tag Specials.
Running June 11th to June 24th.
David Sunflower Seeds, $7.99. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, $20.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauce, $7.99. Essential Everyday Single Slice Cheese, just $8.99. Blue Bonnet Margarine Quarters, $6.99. Breyers Ice Cream, $26.99.
And now our value deals. Essential Everyday Cooking Oil Spray, $9.99. Essential Everyday Roasted Peanuts, $11.99. Starkist Tuna Water and Oil, $3.99. Essential Everyday Dish Detergent, $8.99. The Colgate Toothbrush Medium and Soft, $4.99. VO5 Shampoo and Conditioner, $5.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank life is nice. You can spend it when you want it. How you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. home or away. Any time of the day. Credit or debit, right in your pocket. With National Bank card, so many benefits. Oh yeah, the choice is yours. Just come and embrace it.
Live your life your way with purchases big or small. Mango, nuts, breadfruit and all.
You can spend it when you want it. How you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank life is nice, nice, nice.
Welcome back to HealthWise. Today we're taking a closer look inside the Red Cross, Service Emergencies and Saving Lives. I am your host, Dr. Tashima Brown, and I'm here with two other representatives from the Red Cross. Can you guys please introduce yourselves?
I'm Chadi Garnett, Red Cross volunteer, and I am the Bastia district leader along with the branch secretary.
And I'm Verslet Molyneux, and I am presently the Vice President of the ZIZ Red Cross Society.
So first we're going to talk about why everyone should learn basic first aid skills, CPR and AED. So before we start, it's very important that we define the terms. So first aid is the immediate care given to a person who is injured or suddenly becomes ill until professional help arrives. So it preserves lives, it prevents the condition from getting worse, it promotes recovery, and it shows care when it matters most. CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is an emergency procedure used when a person's heart stops beating effectively. An AED, or automated external defibrillator, is a device that can help restore a normal heart rhythm during certain cardiac arrests. So, my question to you guys, why do you guys think it's important for ordinary people to learn first aid, CPR, and AED skills?
Yeah, it is important for ordinary people to learn these skills because it can mean the difference between life and death. And in the ideal situation would be that, you know, the ambulance is right around the corner when an emergency happens, but that is not the case. So if we get the layman, and it doesn't matter the age, we teach young people, we teach old people, it doesn't matter the age, anybody can learn to save a life, and that is critical because you're the first person that's there to respond.
The first responder, yes.
Yes, so it is very critical for persons to learn this skill.
And one statistic I think often surprises people is that approximately 7 out of 10 cardiac arrests occurs at home. So that means a person who may need CPR is often a spouse, a parent, a child, a sibling, or a friend. So how do you guys think that changes the way we should view CPR training as a community?
So persons who are in cardiac arrest, that means that they're not getting the oxygen-rich blood that they need to fuel the brain and the vital organs that they have. And the sooner you can start chest compressions and giving the ventilations, the sooner you can start, the more chance or the better chance the person has
Absolutely.
Of survival, because you know it only takes a few minutes and then you know the body is of no use to itself. And then getting them to the hospital for that kind of care and treatment would not make any sense. So if someone is there at the moment to provide that kind of care, even if it's just to do compressions only, CPR, then it will give the person a better chance of surviving the heart attack.
But one of the barriers I often hear people talk about is fear. Mm-hmm. They fear that they'll do something wrong, they worry that they will hurt the person, or they worry that they'll be blamed. In psychology, we refer to part of this as the bystander effect, mm-hmm. where the presence of other individual makes someone less likely to act. And diffusion of responsibility is the underlying psychological mechanism that causes this to happen. the belief that accountability is spread out among everyone else, leading each individual to feel less likely or personally responsible to act. So what have you guys found that helps people overcome this fear?
Proper training, because once you have the proper training and you know what to do, it gives you that confidence that you need to act. So most persons will say, oh, I'm not going to help because they're afraid of injuring the person further, or they're afraid of not being sure of what to do. And especially, you know, now something happens, especially if it's a public, people looking around and they're watching it and they're taping you with their phone. So people get, you know, scared and nervous.
Yes.
But if you are properly trained, then you would be better able and more equipped, better well equipped to handle the situation. So that should kind of ease the fear of acting.
So one thing I observe as a Red Cross volunteer and a Red Cross instructor trainer myself is that confidence comes from practice.
Yes.
So
Yes, it
practice, the participants, they spend hours practicing scenarios, going through practicing situations, giving feedback, building muscle memory, and that can help someone to overcome the bystander effect. This confidence, okay?
Yes.
So the goal isn't perfection. The goal is just to be willing to help when the situation calls for it. So let's talk about AEDs. So we know the importance of effective early defibrillation in certain cardiac arrests. So do we currently have AEDs available in public spaces throughout St. Kitts and Nevis?
To my knowledge, I don't think so. But I know, I have heard in the past of an initiative that the government wanted to start, you know, to put AEDs in certain government spaces so that they're easily accessible. I don't know how fruitful that initiative was or any update. I haven't gotten any update on that initiative. But if it is still, you know, out there in the pipelines, it would be nice to have access, or for persons to have access. And not just access, at least we would be able to step in to teach persons how to use them, so that when they are available, they can use them and help jump in to save that person who is in cardiac arrest.
So any of the viewers, if you guys want to partner with the Red Cross to make AEDs more accessible in our communities, please give us a call. We think that AEDs should be all over the Federation, in the schools, in the sporting facilities, in our churches, in government buildings, in the airport. So if anyone wants to partner with us, please, we will welcome you. So if someone watching tonight, guys, decide that they want to learn first aid, CPR, AED skills, what would be their next step?
Well, they can contact any one of us first, or they can contact the office, and the landline number is 465-2584, or you can send an email to info.sknrcs@gmail.com.
Okay. And so beyond CPR, first aid, and AED, what other courses you guys offer?
We do BLS, and we do
So what is
responding.
BLS?
Oh, sorry, basic life support.
Basic life support,
Yes,
okay.
it's a tad bit above just the regular first aid and CPR and AED. We do responding to emergencies as well, which is more extensive. We have emergency medical response, which is just a tad below being an EMT. And we do oxygen administration, we have water safety programs, you know, just to name a few.
And if someone has never taken any classes in first aid at all, what would you say to encourage them to sign up?
Please do. Please do, please do. I would encourage anyone to learn, because the training can not only save someone else's life, but you might be able to save your own life. And getting the training and the skills, even if you want to be, or you have aspirations of being in the medical field, it will help you. Because I started as a junior as well at the age of 15, and it pushed me, it inspired me to become an EMT. And it really helped me during my training as an EMT to be better at what I was doing.
Exactly.
So it does help.
So, thank you so much for talking about the different reasons why everyone should learn first aid, CPR, and AED. And I'm hoping that we were able to convince some of our viewers to call the Red Cross and get those training ASAP. So when we return, we'll discuss how viewers can become more involved in the Red Cross through volunteering, youth programs, and training opportunities.
Looking for a new vehicle? Horsford's automotive division
I'm talking
has
too fast.
exactly what you need. Reliable performance, modern design, and a team committed to getting you on the road with confidence. From everyday drives to exciting upgrades, quality and service come standard. Ready to refresh your home? Visit Ashley Furniture Home Store at Horsford's. Discover statement pieces, stylish accents, and comfort designed to elevate your space instantly. Planning a project? The Building Center provides premium paints mixed to perfection and expert guidance every step of the way. Bring your ideas to life with ease. Automotive, home style, building essentials, all in one trusted destination. Make it simple. Make it smart. Experience everything Horsford's has to offer today. Try Horsford's first.
Welcome back to HealthWise. I am your host, Dr. Tishima Brown. Now we'd like to highlight an individual who has made a meaningful contribution to healthcare in our federation. Our medical personality spotlight shines on Kelinda Liebert Pringle.
Our medical personality spotlight is Kalicia Liebert Pringle. Kalicia Liebert Pringle is a community nurse midwife stationed at the Keon Health Center. In 2010, Kalicia began her nursing education at Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. She was part of the first cohort of nurses to graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in general nursing through a partnership with the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica. Kalicia returned to CFBC in 2019 to pursue post-basic midwifery training. She graduated summa cum laude and was awarded the President's Excellence Award in 2020. She went on to pursue advanced studies at Walden University, where she earned a Master of Science in Nursing with a specialization in public health nursing. Today, Kalicia combines clinical expertise, academic excellence, and a genuine passion for service in her role as community nurse midwife. Beyond her clinical responsibilities, she remains actively involved in advancing the nursing profession and currently serves as Assistant Secretary of the St. Kitts Nurses Association. Kalicia says she is committed to empowering individuals and families through education, advocacy, and compassionate care while promoting healthier communities through evidence-based practice and public health initiatives. Our medical personality is Kalicia Liebert Pringle.
Welcome back to HealthWise. We're taking a closer look inside the Red Cross, service, emergencies, and saving lives. We've talked about the mission of the Red Cross, how it helps our communities, the importance of emergency preparedness and life-saving skills. And now for the viewers who have been inspired by our discussion, the obvious question becomes now, how can they become a part of the Red Cross?
The Red Cross is an international agency, organization, which is open to anyone at any age. So one can join and be a part of the organization once they are. We have our 7 fundamental principles to which we just discussed. Our major one, which will be humanity, the ability to serve all and not to discriminate. That will be our major focus. So again, anyone in the audience are able to join the society as a whole.
So you don't need a medical background
No medical background.
or any
Anyone-
special qualifications?
No qualifications.
Great.
Come as you are.
All
We'll
right
train
then.
you.
Okay, so what opportunities currently exist for someone who wants to become involved with the St. Kitts and Nevis Red Cross Society?
Good question. Opportunities far. It's for lack of a better word, too numerous to mention. So one of the first things that we would like to tell persons is this: you come in, you get the first aid. The other parts, the other presentations before me would have went on and say how important it is, not just for yourself, but for the others that you impact in society, to learn how to do basic first aid. Important, as you are the first responder, you will be able to provide care on the scene. This is just one of the aspects which we do.
And it's free?
Free, of
For
course, for
volunteers.
volunteers.
Yes.
So if you want to join, you get that
Yes.
first aid session for free. And if you want to come and get this training, you can call the number as just mentioned. Other training would have been vulnerability and capacity assessment, which would have indicate how you can better enhance your community. I would have done that course overseas. So the training that we offer is not just for locals, as in for local environment, but we offer training outside. Currently, myself, other participants here are doing the ability to execute training by McKinsey, a global consulting firm that teaches you leadership skills. So this is just, as I said before, the opportunities for training advancement is far. Anything that you want to learn, as long as you can participate, it's there for the taking.
Okay, so can we shift now to some of the youth programs? What are some of the youth programs you guys have, and why is youth involvement so crucial to the mission of Red Cross?
A very important question, Tish. Youth always hear the youths are the future. Everywhere you go, every politician that stands up says the youths are the future. But how we as a society equip said youths for the future? For us as Red Cross youths, one thing I would like to envision is to give them the proper training, the proper skill sets for future advancement. How do we do that? I always like to bring it up, back to our 7 fundamental principles, important. Once one can learn these principles, humanity, volunteer service, to give back of your time without any remuneration is important, then you can lead a productive life as a citizen. So we want to make sure that you as a youth at 5 years of age up to 30, you are better equipped to be that future to which we are equipping you for. So it's a hand in hand. So we train you so that when we become old, we know that the persons who come after us are equipped to handle or deal with our issues that we might face.
Yes.
And can either of you share a memorable volunteer experience that reminds you the importance of the work that you're doing right now?
Back to me, the most recent one was the search and rescue that we did with Fire and Rescue, the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, along with other participant stakeholders. These are just a few of what we would have done in terms of giving back. We would have done more of sports day session earlier this year, which would have been mainly to give back to the youths of the Federation as well.
Very interesting work. So now it's time to take a look at what's happening at the Joseph and Franz General Hospital. Here's our medical bulletin.
Good day, I'm Dr. Jensen Morton. I'm the Director of Health Projects and Strategic Initiatives in the Ministry of Health. And today I'm here to have a wonderful interview with a special guest. It's Nurse Nisa Tyson. She's the president of the St. Kitts Nurses Association, and she's also currently the nurse in charge of the Old Road Health Center. Good day, Ms. Tyson.
Good afternoon, Dr. Morton.
All right. So, Mrs. Tyson, what made you choose nursing as a profession?
What made me choose nursing? In the first instant, I didn't choose nursing. Nursing was nothing I wanted to do. I wanted to be a vector control officer.
Oh.
But there was no position for vector control officer. And so they introduced us to nursing attendant that time. I think the government had a scheme like the steps. They had a scheme that persons can come in and choose whatever area. And so that was offered, and so I went in, and based on the experience that I had, I had an experience with an accident. I got in a terrible accident, and with my right ankle, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't do nothing for myself. And the nurses did everything for me, and I was very pleased with how they treat me, how they took care of me and care for me, not only me but my families. And so I decided I want to be a nurse to make a change in somebody's life. So that's why I'm a nurse today.
Okay. So one thing good with nursing in St. Kitts is that there are lots of opportunities for growth. In your opinion, what are some nursing needs in St. Kitts and Nevis today?
Okay, some of the nursing need, I would say, I remember when we came into nursing, one of the things that was required of us is to, as we became a registered nurse, after registered nurse, we had to be a nurse midwife. And so you don't have a lot of midwife now, so that is one of the need that we need, the nursing need. A nurse
explain for persons what's a midwife.
So a nurse midwife is a nurse who has specialized training and education in caring for the mother and the child and also the family. And so the nurse midwife go to the college and get special training in that area where she can deliver baby, she can take care of the baby after the baby has been born, and also the mother, take care of the mother maternally and postnatally. And also in regards to public health, the nurse midwife also cares for the mother in that area. She has to visit the mother, she has to do postnatal care. So it's a specialized area that nurses are trained for.
Okay. So tell us a bit more about the Nurses Association. I know that you're the president of the Nurses Association, so just give us a bit of a synopsis about it.
Okay, so the Nursing Association is a non-governmental organization led by myself and 6 other persons in the executive team. Our role is to be advocate for nurses. We advocate for nurses for better working condition, better pay, and also for education for nurses, so we can stay abreast of the different changes in healthcare.
All right. So I know that at JNF currently we have over 200 nurses, and I think that in total in the country it's over 300 nurses?
It's 340 to 60.
340 to 360?
No, let's say 340.
340, wow, that's
340
a lot.
plus.
So automatically,
because you have to include nurses in the health center and nurses in hospital.
Yes.
Yes.
Does it include the nurses training in the college as well?
No, those are student nurses. That's a body by itself. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
But still, if you're in charge of 340 nurses, that's probably one of the strongest associations in the country.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I know that something special is happening in October.
Yes.
Could you just tell us a bit about that?
So coming in October, from the 23rd of October until the 31st of October, is the Caribbean Nurses Organization Nursing Conference. It will be held here in St. Kitts at the Marriott Hotel, and it's a week of activities, and it brings together a pool of nurses from across the region. And our role in this conference is to bring to the table nursing education, nursing leaders, professionals, and we are going to discuss the different changes in healthcare, the different advancement, and it's an opportunity for us to collaborate with our regional body, our regional colleagues.
All right. Well, thank you, Nurse Tyson, for taking time out of your very busy schedule for this interview today. And we're really hoping that the general public is appreciative of the insight into the field of nursing, and we hope that it could spark some passion into more persons from the Federation to get more actively involved in the field.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
Welcome back to HealthWise, where we take a closer look inside the Red Cross, service, emergency, and saving lives. I think tonight's discussion has shown that the Red Cross is much more than an emergency response organization. It is a community organization built on compassion, built on service, built on people helping people. And as we come to the end of tonight's discussion, I'd like to thank our guests from the St. Kitts and Nevis Red Cross Society for joining us and sharing their experiences and their expertise. But before we close, I'd like to leave our viewers with a challenge. Take one step this month towards becoming more prepared, whether it is to establish an emergency family plan, to prepare or get an emergency first aid kit, or whether it is to call Red Cross and sign up for first aid classes. Whatever the step is, take it, because prepared people help build prepared communities. Thank you so much for tuning in to HealthWise, and we'll see you until the next time. Thank you.